fire department could use it, or we could sell it.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, make a little revenue back and put back into the, fund, so.
So then that goes to that one service depot. Did you find out about that charge?
We got a bill for an oil change for $45 on a 2019 or 2019 SUV. I just thought, I didn't even look at the, I'll be honest, I was tired one night and I coded it to pay it. She caught it, that I had coded it to pay it all. I thought it was my Blazer or something, but it was actually, I shouldn't have, because it was the oil depot, or the repair depot, the sheriff there by the trash district on Dryden Road. I'm glad you caught it. Well, Flag has that coupon, and I'm gonna, we can't be paying the cruiser cost. It's in that contract.
So
Whether
it
we
should
own
be
the car or not, well, somehow it
So
got out.
I can trash the bill then? I'm still holding it.
I'll tell you, hold it until we get in writing that
Okay.
they relieved us, otherwise we get a nasty gram from them, and
He's charging us for
the county.
PM.
$45 to oil change the
and
cruiser.
We
inspection.
never.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you guys tonight if you had any memory of such, because I've never seen
No,
it.
I don't remember that.
And so Andy said that he says he'll take care of it, but I want to make sure we have it in writing and then we close the case. So otherwise,
Tell Andy we'll watch it.
Exactly.
yeah. So, if you want to say your community is in good shape, well, obviously we all know you struggle, but the thing is, you're not at zero. You're not in a deficit, but you don't have any savings account outside of that what I say, 149,000 or whatever you got rolled over.
And that right, that 149, what you're looking at this as today.
Well, yeah, we got a month and a half to go, but we do have all 52,000 encumbered. But then, you guys also know that we don't get our first check till what, March?
February. We might get in end of February.
So we need some cash flow
That's what you got to
in
do,
January,
that
February.
advance.
That's what we passed in advance.
So that
Right.
you can get that.
Yeah.
right. Because I asked for, they usually get it in February and August, but I asked for weekly, so that we could get something to go to our budget. Else we'd have to wait till February or August to get it.
So, before you get the final budget, we may have to have one more meeting to finalize the drafts if you guys got changes to it. But we can make changes every day to the spreadsheet. This isn't a spreadsheet, but we'll make sure it is. And we'll just make the changes as you call individually. And then we'll have to have a meeting where you guys see the final, or we send it out to you and let you look at it well ahead of time. So when you do pick the date that you really want to vote on it, you don't have a lot of discussion. Because look at all the stuff you're trying to do. It's Christmas, it's COVID, you're trying to go Zoom, and then on top of it, we're trying to spend the CARES Act, and we gotta get 3 budgets approved. That lady there has to issue all the POs on that CARES Act before stuff can be bought. So we have a lot to do before the end of the year, and I didn't want to delay these meetings even if they're not perfect. I wanted to get you guys in here. So now you have all 3 departments.
Yep.
Chew on it, look at it, like the road thing the other day, 103,000 or 123,000, whatever. Well, we got to know how many roads we can do. That's just one example. So, but we got to get this done. So we know.
Also, if you look on there and you say, oh, I want something broken out so I can see the amount.
Yeah.
Then just say, I want it broken out, and then we'll make another fund code, and then we'll put that there, and, the amount you want in there, and then that way you can always say, okay, Tracy, how much do we spend on that? As long as we stick with those numbers, when we code it out, you should be able to get the accurate numbers.
I mean, this community, for instance, for the sheriff, when I started, it was a little over 300,000 negative at the end of the year we owed the sheriff. And you guys have been able to knock it out, and now you're in a positive.
See, and I didn't understand, at the time I didn't understand, because I didn't have any control over
Sure.
the sheriff.
Things
So
run different.
I didn't like, what are you talking about? We owe you, I'm paying you the bill. but I didn't know. But
You guys
also,
hired, you guys hired me, I got a call that next morning, and it was Phil Plummer, and he said, let's go to breakfast, and I'm like, what do you want to go to breakfast for? And that's when he said, we need to talk about your money. That's what we talked about, because I hadn't seen your spreadsheet.
Yes.
well, you guys are sitting in that.
He was
meeting.
pretty darn serious.
So, what, lighting district, are we okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't go over that, you guys want to go over that for a minute? I mean, you're at a positive 90,000 at the end of the year, and that's without next year's collections.
Oh, but what about, have they finished all the lights, LED?
Yeah, LEDs are done. They're getting ready to do the yearly check again, that you get once a year, where they drive around and do a night audit of all the lights. You chose, what, $55 or whatever, so the assessment's been done. You guys have cleaned that up.
Need to be done.
You know, now I've heard some horror stories through the tornado stories about how FEMA didn't cover some of the town's streetlights or portions of it. And I realize DP&L owns it. But there, you know something's gonna happen if we have a disaster through here. They're gonna ask us for some help. And you've got that money if you have to, or you're legally required to. So you guys have any other questions?
No, just a good thing you're not in Louisiana or New Orleans.
Did they get hit with another one now?
Yeah, there's another one
Or even worse,
Hurricane?
it got, with that, flooding, Nicaragua got really bad.
Yep.
You know,
Twice this year.
2 years ago, being an insurance agent, I still keep an eye on stuff. The flood insurance we buy in this area, you have to have flood insurance, doubled in price over the last 5 years. And everybody's screaming about it.
Yes,
Why
they
did it go
are.
up?
I know people that pay that.
It's because your money, or their money, went down to Louisiana to
Oh,
rebuild
really?
all those facilities.
Is that right?
Yeah, and allowed the people to go back into those flood-borne areas and rebuild. It may seem like a nice thing, and I feel sorry for those people that their lifelong homes down there. But there should be something that says, we're not giving you federal money to go back to the same place that you're gonna flood out 2-3 years
So,
from now.
some people,
Well-
when they don't have nowhere to get out, and when those.
I understand.
When FEMA let them out, they ran and never came back, so there was a lot that did leave, and I watched that, what was it, Katrina? Oh, that was sad.
Yeah.
Well, I went through that with the bank, and the way that they pulled it off, and they jacked the rates, they redid the mapping. So people that went in 100-year floodplains were. And then people refused to do it. The bank would put forced place insurance, forced escrow. And it was a major mess to deal with customers and clean that up. But Steve's right, everybody paid for Katrina.
And I'm
Same
not,
thing,
go ahead.
same thing with the Florida hurricanes when they got leveled with Andrew. All the insurance companies were insolvent, so their rates tripled. And so state of Florida had to create their own hurricane coverage, windstorm coverage, citizens insurance, and the fees on that were huge.
It's just frustrating that even if we don't have flood insurance, we know our neighbors that may have to have it because they're next to a creek. They're getting screwed.
I live on top of the hill.
That's why cemeteries are normally built on the top of the hill.
So if you got dinged with flood insurance, you would have to turn in an elevation certificate to the bank to get an exemption from it.
Yeah.
And then that would need a land survey. So it was a real messy process to deal with.
I don't see me getting it around it.
You're all right. You're okay.
Yeah, I'm probably all right. Okay, motion to adjourn. I want to second that.
Already did.
guy. Second one.
We're out of here at 8:24.
Did you guys know that OTA had their banquet today?
The gala?
They had an online gala.
Yeah.
I didn't,
I think I saw that in an email.
I didn't get online before, and I was on another.
I got on the end of it.
What time did you get over?